Welcome to Rock Solid Productions, where we're going to crack open a Sprecher Cherry Cola, and we're going to talk some non-spoiler feedback about Deadpool 2. Let's see how it happened. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rock Solid Productions. Welcome. If this is your first time to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. That way, A, it helps the channel, B, it keeps you up to date each and every time we do post new content, whether we're talking about movie reviews, retro video games, modern video games, how to cut the cord, and a whole lot more. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and each and every time we do upload new content, you are kept up to date. So Deadpool 2 is out in the wild. What do we think about it? Well, first of all, just so you know, this is going to be, by and large, a spoiler-free review. There may be some character elements that we talk about, but as far as the overall plot, story, things that happen, not going to discuss that here. So Deadpool 2, our local AMC, as you can see, I've got the lanyard on here. They actually did a really cool thing on the Thursday of the weekend when Deadpool came out, where they actually did a Deadpool double feature. So you got this cool lanyard and everything. You got, and we'll open this live on camera, well, recorded on camera. This is for promotional use only, not for resale. I don't know what's in here yet. So they showed the first movie and then had like a 15-20 minute intermission for people to go get new drinks, get some popcorn, go to the bathroom, come back, sit down, and enjoy the second one. I really wish more theaters and studios would do it. It's a great idea, especially think about The Last Jedi. Having The Force Awakens right in front of it, even though they're both really bad movies, but you get my point. Having the one lead right into the other really would have been cool. Having Thor Ragnarok go and start in front of Infinity War would have been a neat tie-in as well. There are a lot of potentials. I would like to see more theaters do this moving forward. Speaking of Infinity War, as dark and foreboding as that movie is, Deadpool 2 is a great counterpoint to Infinity War. It's not nearly as dark, it's funny, you're going to laugh in this, and I think that's something that, again, you have the grim on the Infinity War. This is more the lighthearted. You get the world is going to end, half the universe is going to die, spoiler for Infinity War, versus really a self-contained story that, by and large, doesn't affect anything else beyond the characters in this story. And I do like that quite a bit. It's a different approach, but it's an enjoyable one as well. I will also tell you that I was shocked at how Deadpool 2 hit me in the feels repeatedly. I'm not going to tell you, again, any of the plot points that go on here, but the opening sequence has Celine Dion singing the intro theme for Deadpool. What the hell? Celine Dion singing the opening thing for... It just doesn't sound right, but it happens and it fits great. And throughout the entire movie, you are hit over and over again with the emotional consequence of characters' decisions, and it was really well done. It wasn't heavy-handed, and in a lot of ways it was ways that you could empathize with the characters that we have on screen. And along with hitting you in the feels over and over again, it's also surprisingly deep. This is a really, yes, there are, to be a little crass here, there are dick and fart jokes in here. You're going to have it. It's a Deadpool movie. But there's also a lot of really good messages throughout this entire movie, throughout it. Now, one thing I will say is the new kid that we've all seen in the trailers, he is Deadpool's version of Fat Amy from Pitch Perfect. And I'm not just saying that because he's fat and he's got an Australian accent. It's that sort of character, just in a 13, 14, whatever the age of the kid that's playing it, in that size body. There are great call-outs, too, to the first movie. Like I mentioned, I really enjoyed the fact that our AMC had the first movie ahead of the second one in this double feature, and it reminded you, it used the line word for word, delivered by a different character. 5 or 6 moments is all it takes to be a superhero. We all heard Colossus say that in the first one, and it really resonates when it's repeated here. It shows in a lot of ways the growth and the depth of a lot of these characters. One thing I didn't expect is the fact that we always knew Wade Wilson kind of had his own moral compass and tried to do right from wrong, but he's not a hero. He'll tell you he's not a hero. But Wade and Deadpool really have a moral compass that come out of seemingly nowhere here, that really shows that he knows that he's a screw up. He knows that he's let people down in his life, but he wants to be more than that. And it's really, like I say, it's surprisingly deep for what this movie is. I mean, he's the merc with the mouth, and yet you look at him, it's like, damn, dude, I didn't know you were capable of that. Cable is the main villain in here, and we do get a little bit of backstory. Now, for me, where I'm coming into pretty much all the Marvel movies, and this is not a Marvel Studios, again, remember, this is Fox, soon to be Marvel Studios, because, you know, the Mouse House is going to own everything. They own you already, don't they? They didn't quite own me yet, but they get a ton of my money. Anyways, we do get some backstory on who Cable is, and I needed that as someone coming into this completely dry. I didn't know anything about the character besides he was a time traveler and was like half cyborg, half human. That's all that I knew. I'm glad that they spent some detail on it, but I'm also glad that they didn't dwell on it. The character development that they provided was deep enough on its own, and I really enjoyed it. I'd like to see them evolve and develop his character in the future if they do have him come back in future movies. But it's also one of those things where this is very self-contained. If they leave it at this, it's understandable. I will say that Josh Brolin, I remember when he played a young Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black, and it was believable because he looked like a young Tommy Lee Jones. He looks like an old Tommy Lee Jones now. It's just kind of weird that they do have, or that he has aged to that point that he can play a character that has this age and, in many ways, wisdom to him. I'm going to make a little bit of a wrestling reference to you here. While he's the villain in this movie, he is basically a heel who makes good points. And a heel in the wrestling world is the bad guy. He is the Iron Sheik to the Hulk Hogan. He is the anti-hero, basically. But you can see, not to the same extent as Thanos, or actually not in the same way as Thanos, you can see why he's making these decisions. They're not just flying off half-cocked, trying to destroy the world with a Alan Parsons project installed on the moon. He's trying to prevent atrocities in the future. His reasoning is actually somewhat noble, I would say. So it's interesting to see this character introduced who is, in many ways, like Deadpool, many shades of gray. TJ Miller is still outstanding in this. He's funny. There are scenes that he absolutely steals because he just has this dry wit that runs throughout everything in here. You'll also find Blind Al in this is less of the harsh F-bomb throwing, looking for cocaine, whining, bitching, moaning. She's very much a motherly figure, I would say, in this movie. There are aspects where basically she is consoling Wade throughout this movie and really providing sources of wisdom and guidance, and in many ways, a vision of hope. See what I did there? A vision of hope. But she's great in here. Dopinder is, I think, a little bit overused in some spots. It's interesting, after the first Deadpool, I'm a big fan of the Goldbergs. He's actually the college dorm monitor of Erica Goldberg, at least the actor is, in the Goldbergs, so that's neat to see as well. I thought Negasonic Teenage Warhead was just okay. I actually liked her girlfriend's interaction, Yukio, with Deadpool quite a bit. It's interesting that Negasonic Teenage Warhead just looks at, you know, hey, douche pool, whereas Yukio is like, oh, hi, Wade, and it's just really interesting to see that dynamic. This may sound racist, not meant to be, the yin and the yang of the relationship that those two have with Deadpool 2. As the movie kicks off, like I say, you are hit in the stomach almost immediately with a real emotional punch. And you may be tempted to, like, what the hell is going on? not read the credits. Read the credits. They're just as good as the first credits around. There's so many great references in this movie too, not only to things in the MCU, but things in the DCU, things in just general society right now that if you blink, you're going to miss it. And you definitely don't want to miss all the references because they're outstanding. The music was great in this. Almost reminded me a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy, but more up to date, less 60s, 70s schmaltz, and more AC/DC. Yes, I know AC/DC came out on the scene in the 70s. They really came into their own in the 80s and 90s though, at least the second incarnation of AC/DC. I will say when X-Force joins, and that's no secret, we've seen that in the trailers that X-Force is a thing in this movie. And when they are parachuting down, the best choice of music next to having the Immigrant Song in Thor Ragnarok, AC/DC's Thunderstruck. Frickin' awesome. Could not have picked a better piece of music to go with that. It just fit so well. And speaking of X-Force, not going to get into a whole lot of depth on all those characters, but one of the new ones that definitely stood out to me, Domino. Absolutely loved Domino. If you were, her skill is she's lucky. And she's got this swagger and this confidence that's just infectious and just she's an amazing character. I want to see more of Domino as we go along. This story is really a redemption story of three people, and as you watch it, you'll kind of be able to see that for yourself, and each one has to take their own unique path on how they get there. It's a story of loss in many ways, and that redemption, how you return from that loss. Now, I will say the kid who is the center point of the story, sometimes it felt like he was trying too hard, and just like Fat Amy, it's like, okay, I get it. He's a smart ass. He's got an edge. He's got to just move on. And I thought they milked that a little bit too much. I did like the couple references that they had to Josh Brolin, also playing Thanos. We saw that in the trailers. Pump the hate brakes, Thanos. You're so dark. Could you be part of the DCU? As another reference just to the DCU. One thing I did not put two and two together until I actually saw it. And again, this is in the trailer when Cable is trying to shoot at Deadpool, and Deadpool is swirling his katanas around, or just before he starts swirling around. Let's dance, One-Eyed Willie. Great reference to the Goonies. Again, I didn't make that connection until I'm actually sitting here watching the movie. Now, I will say I didn't like it better than the first one, but I don't think it's any worse than the first one. I'd say it is just as good. If you liked the first one, you will enjoy this one too. It was just one of those stupid fun movies that, yes, had some dick and fart jokes in it. They do make a reference to Wade again looking like an avocado who had been hate bleeped. So it is less crass in some ways, and it does have, like I say, a lot of heart and depth. I will say when you get to the end of the movie, this is the best end credit scene for any movie I have ever seen, and there have been some great ones. This is by far the best end credit scene out of any movie. Now, one thing about Deadpool 2 I will say that I really absolutely hate, it makes me want to see more of Ryan Reynolds doing something that's wrong on so many levels. It's Ryan Reynolds, no! But I will say it was stupid fun. I really enjoyed it. I do want to thank AMC. Now, I paid for my tickets, but for doing the double feature. I hope more studios kind of pick up on that idea and do that more often. But now, it's been killing me. I don't know what's in here. I kind of hope that it is a Voltron Defender of the Universe ring. There were no Voltron references. Spoiler, there were no Voltron references, so let's see what this is. I've broken the seal. It is, and we will give you a close-up of it, it is just a Deadpool figurine kind of sitting and giving you a thumbs up. So very cool, neat little tchotchke there that AMC and Fox Studios produced. Overall, great movie, great fun. It it's exactly what I wanted it to be, and it didn't disappoint at all. Like I say, the one minor gripe was the one CGI scene that kind of There was about 20 minutes, I'd say, in the movie too that dragged a little bit, but you could see that it was building towards something, and if you constantly have action, 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 you're gonna fatigue the audience. So overall, just really fun. It is not a family movie, no matter what. You've seen the ads. The story is about family. It is not for younger kids. If the kids are under 15 or 16, it's rated R for a reason. Don't take them to it. That's just me as a dad. But these are just my opinions. Have you seen Deadpool 2? What do you think about it? What do you want to see out of the third movie? Let me know down below in the comments section. You can also email me any questions that you might have too at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. We also have our address down below too if you want to send any products in for us to review, check out, send in gifts to the channel. It's going to be down below for you too. You can also hit us up on our Twitter channel at Rock Solid Studios or over on our Facebook page at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions. Now, Twitter, I did tweet out pictures from the theater and everything while I was there watching it. Nothing with the movie itself. I didn't violate any copyrights or anything like that there. So, but keep an eye on both our Twitter and Facebook pages. And if you want to as well, you can help support the future of Rock Solid Productions over on our Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/rocksolid, and for as little as $1 a month, you get early access to all of our video content, exclusive one-on-one conversations, exclusive content as well. So that's a great way to help support the channel. And as you can see, we've got new shirts. Pick up the swag over at our Teespring store too. We're going to be coming out with some more designs as well. These right now, as you can see, designed around a Super NES cartridge. I'm going to do one with an NES, probably a Genesis, maybe a couple others. So stay tuned for our Teespring store as well, linked down below in the more info section. And finally, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. You are kept up to date with each and everything that we do come out, like movie reviews. Solo, a Star Wars story is next. I have very low expectations. I'm not looking forward to it at all, just how bad The Last Jedi was. Thankfully, I'm seeing some early reviews from people who felt similarly to me about The Last Jedi, and they say Solo is much, much better. I didn't mind Rogue One, so hopefully I will enjoy Solo, a Star Wars story. A whole lot more coming out. We are going to be doing more movie reviews as the weeks, months, and years go on, so stay tuned to the channel for that. Keep subscribed, that way you are kept up to date when we do come out with that. So thank you all for watching. I am Gary. This has been Rock Solid Productions and our non-spoiler review of Deadpool 2. Go see it. Come on. Go on. Go. Go see it. You'll enjoy it. I'll see you later.